I think the first thing to say is I hate rehearsing. So I don't know, there's something in me, I think it's called laziness, but I don't enjoy rehearsing much. And so I probably should do it more than I do. I get away with the bare minimum usually. But I tell you when I start to enjoy rehearsing is when we actually get away from just rehearsing. And often we can spend all our time just rehearsing songs, you know, trying to get everything spot on and all this. But it's really important that as a band, in a sense, you rehearse, you prepare more than that, not just the songs, but maybe rehearse getting into a flow as a band. You know, so as you're having your rehearsal, don't be scared to get off a song. Maybe you're getting on this chord progression, maybe you're getting a little line, and just worship God together. Teach each other how to worship God spontaneously. And it can make the rehearsal so much more fun, I think. You know, you're actually meeting with the Lord, and also it doesn't feel just like singing songs. I'm not a good person on that. I'm not really. I let too much go sometimes musically. I don't know if it's laziness or thinking. I'm not sure how important that is. It's interesting. The Bible, Psalm 33 verse 3, tells us to play skillfully, and apparently that has a little bit of the word sensitively in it as well, as that element to it. But the thing is, it only says that once. It doesn't keep reiterating it time and time again. And I've heard too much stuff about excellence in worship. You know, excellence in this, excellence in that, and that's cool. And there's a place for that. The Bible says it, Psalm 33. But the priority has to be the heart thing. You know, and you have to make sure in every aspect of what you're doing that the priority is the heart thing. So in your rehearsal, really, if possible, it needs to be some more about the heart thing. You know, God values that time and time again in the Bible. He says it time and time again. He only talks about excellence once, really, directly. And so, of course, rehearse. Of course, get as good as you can. But what I'm find, and again, I'm not very good at this, so I need to learn, is that have time for prayer together. Have time to just learn to worship God spontaneously together. You know, to be even in a rehearsal, to be prepared for that new song. You know, that Song of the Lord thing. I think that's a lesson. I guess the other thing to say is the whole character thing. I think it was John Wimber said a fantastic thing a few years back. He said, the real test in these days will not be in the greatness of new and great... Sorry, let me say that again. John Wimber said, the real test in these days will not be in the producing and writing of new and great music. The real test in these days will be in the godliness of those who deliver it. And so again, it's right back to that heart, the heart of worship thing. Make sure that your heart and your life's matching up. And as a team, you know, spur each other on. And as a worship leader, choose people who have that heart. It's so tempting to choose people. Maybe you have never had a bass guitar player in your church, and suddenly you've got this guy. But something in your heart's telling you he's not the guy to play. Maybe he's a bit cocky about it, you know, a bit, I don't know if that's a word here, but he's a bit arrogant or a bit full of himself, and you're thinking he's not the guy. But you really want him to play because he's like this great player. And sometimes you have to really discipline yourself and say, no, I can't do this. Maybe I could try and start mentoring him or discipling him, but I can't do it, because it's like saying to him and to the people and to God that actually we all say we think this is a spiritual thing, but actually we think it's more of a musical thing than a spiritual thing. It's like saying to everyone, you know, this isn't about really in the end a spiritual thing. This isn't a holy thing. This is about music. That's what it would be like saying. But some people say, well, you can disciple people. Like the best way to disciple someone is get them to do something. I'm not sure that's the case with worship. I think sometimes we have to set it apart and say, this is a little different. It's a sacred thing. Maybe, as an idea, a lot of people say, well, what do you do then in that situation? I think my suggestion would be, get that guy to come to your rehearsals, but don't let him play at church yet. Just get him to come along, say, hey, come on, we're just going to play. Come and learn to worship with us, come and hang out with us. Just say, I'm not sure if you're ready for the meetings yet, you know, but we'd love you to come. And if he sticks it out there, and it's for reasons of a heart thing, then of course you could release that person.